I really miss making photos. It's been over 6 weeks since the last time I went out intentionally to create street photos, and I'm noticing how much it affects me, how much I really miss it, how much it had become an important part of my life creatively, emotionally, and all the rest, and then now with in its absence, how much I miss it. So in today's video, I'm going to share the journey to how I got here and look ahead a little bit to what could be next. So I hope you find some helpful information in here, some things for you to think about. And as always, I invite your participation in a conversation to share your experiences, your thoughts and perspectives in the comments below. So hello everybody and welcome to today's video about missing making photos, missing the experience of creating photos. I'm not sure if this video is going to be like a TED Talk or a podcast or a visual diary, but it is what it is. I have some kind of sketch notes I've written down, but I'm kind of ad-libbing here, so I appreciate your patience and indulgence. I realized I've never really done a full introduction on this channel, so I'll do that now. My name is Michael Sladek. I live in Sammamish, Washington, USA, and I teach photography at Highline College. Currently, I'm teaching 2 classes, an introduction class and a portrait photography class. More on that in a minute. I'm also now currently working part-time at Kenmore Camera on the weekends. So I got my first bit of photography swag in the box from the back that nobody else had taken, but rest assured, I'm not switching from Fujifilm to Nikon. Although if I did, that might be the one to go with. Anyway, so a little bit more about why I'm making this video after I fix my hair. All right, hair fixed. So the reason I'm making this video is because this change in my life of adding a part-time job to now what is part-time teaching means I don't have as much time for photography. So I don't have the intentional time to go out and carve out a chunk of time. For me, it was usually a couple hours to go out and make photos. And I'm discovering I'm really missing that in so many different ways, both kind of creatively, spiritually, emotionally, all the things that makes us people. I'm really missing it. And I've come to appreciate how difficult it can be in the midst of adulting and doing life with a full-time job to carve out time for, in my case, photography or anything really creative. So that's kind of what I'm going to muse on, what I'm thinking about. And I'll share just a teeny bit here how I got here now. So for the past 3 years, I have had the glorious gift of working a full-time job in teaching photography at Highline College, but only being on campus 2 days a week because one of my classes was online. So there was admin responsibilities around that, planning and prep, and obviously grading and sending emails to students, being available to them. But once the videos were recorded for that class, it was not as much of a weekly time commitment as an ongoing predictable basis, like being on campus for 2 5-credit classes is. So that changed in fall quarter this year, 2023, where I was only offered 2 classes, both of them on campus. So with the loss of a third of my income, I was trying to figure out finding a job that I would enjoy, that's nice, that had predictable income, aside from my freelance photography, which goes up and down, as you know, if you've ever done freelance work. I sent an email to the owner, Bob Donovan at Kenmore Camera, saying, hey, do you need any weekend help? And he said, yeah, actually we do. We just had one of our people migrate away from weekends and let's chat. And I've gotten to know him over the past 4 or 5 years. I've been a customer there for over 20 years. So we knew each other at least a little bit. So it made a really easy conversation. It's a great store. I really do like it, but it's a lot of learning. I mean, I know Fujifilm cameras, I know peripherally about the other brands, but there's a lot to learn. It's a store that carries everything, and it's a great place. And the customers are awesome so far that I've experienced in my 3 weeks working there. But that means instead of having 5 days a week of flexibility to go out and make photos, I now have 2, and they're Tuesday and Thursday. So it's a little different rhythm by a long shot, and I still have all the other adulting things to do, my laundry, groceries, take care of doctor appointments, car appointments, all the first world things we deal with. So it doesn't leave a lot of time, and emotional energy to go out and make photos. And I'm really missing that. So before I think much about what I'm going to do in the future, and maybe get some ideas from you all too, who live the normal adult life of a 5-day work week and how you incorporate creativity and photography, particularly in your life, I thought I would share a new appreciation I've discovered or rediscovered for those of you who do create photography on a regular basis, or create anything on a regular basis in the midst of doing the adult Western civilization life that we seem to live. So I have a new appreciation for that, how complicated it is to find time for creativity. And then another thing I want to muse on here and think about a little bit is, for me, creativity is kind of fragile. I need to be in a specific state of mind to do it. I need to kind of be protected, live in this little bubble. So what I had developed, without even really realizing it over the past 3 years, was this practice of dedicating 1 day a week where I would go out and do street photography, usually in Bellevue, Washington. And during that time, it would take, a couple hours. I'd walk around, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But during that time, it was this neat little bubble where I was engaged in the world in a different way than I normally am, because I'm often in a car, as we often are here in the US. So I was out walking and seeing things at a different level, seeing things in different ways, different layers, seeing people, observing things differently. And it was just such a gift, such a treat for me to be in a citizen in the midst of a whole bunch of other people. So that was really a helpful perspective for me. And this time was a bubble. It went really quickly. I mean, all of a sudden I looked down at my watch and, oh, now I know I'm hungry because 2 hours has gone by. And during that time, one of the cool things that happens is I wasn't always checking my phone, see what I'm missing, because I was engaged pretty fully in all the stuff around me. And I've missed that for the past 4 or 5 or 6 weeks since I haven't been able to do it. But I also know that for me, that's a gift to have that time I had where I could do the 2 hours of photography, plus the hour of travel time, plus the editing time, plus all the bits and pieces that go into making that. Really, it's an 8-hour day to do that photography I was doing, plus then sharing it on YouTube. That's about the amount of time it took. So I miss that. I miss the whole process. I miss the outcome of the photos. I miss creating the photos, the whole thing. So I have a new appreciation for the struggle that many people have when they're working and have the desire to create, and finding the energy, the priority in the midst of living an adult life. So I'm not 100% sure what's going to be next for me around that. I'm thinking ahead to some creative ways I can address that. I'm thinking of possibly doing on my Tuesdays and Thursdays, going really early in the morning. I do enjoy mornings. Going in the morning and having different light, different people, different perspectives that I might encounter as I'm out and about. So that might also then give me a longer day than if I went out at my usual time, which is usually I'd arrive around 10 o'clock. Instead, if I arrive even before sunrise, then I get a little bit of the dusk and the dawn time, and then transition into day. So we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking about it. So if you have any suggestions or creative options, I'd really appreciate, again, in the comments below. Thank you. So that's a teeny bit of an update, a little bit of what I'm thinking about and hoping to have happen in the future. I do plan to continue making videos. They may take a little different path and include more of this kind of video, which I can do a little more quickly, where I'm talking to camera and sharing thoughts. So if you have topics you're wondering about and would like me to hear my opinion on, please also leave that in the comments below. Thank you very much. I hope you've gotten some thoughts here that maybe are helpful to you or give you grace in the midst of, why am I not making more photos? Oh yeah, I have a life that takes a lot of time and energy and effort, and it's the priority of paying the bills and putting the roof over the head and putting food in our stomachs. So one of the things I've discovered as I get older is that my attitude about how I approach situations like this, when there's a change that I didn't want, but there's still some positive outcomes from it, is to be aware of my attitude in the midst of all that, and how I approach it really affects how I will experience the situations ahead. So that's another little tidbit I thought I'd share. I mean, I can get really angry about this and be bummed that it's happening, but I also, I've got a job. I got a second job that happened just like that in a place that's really fun, with people that I enjoy working with, and it's surrounded by cameras. So that's pretty okay. And I'm grateful for that. Another reminder that the connections we make along the way with human beings in our lives can help us have opportunities that we may not have expected otherwise. So, note to self, maybe note to you. So, another perspective I thought I'd share with you is something that I've discovered about my life. Most of my life, the twists and turns of, especially around career, has not been stuff I've planned. They've been phone calls about, hey, do you want to try this? They've been picking up a computer and trying something different. And in this case, an email to say, hey, do you have a job opportunity? And here we are. During pandemic times, that was not desirable for any of us, but that gave me time to develop this YouTube channel. And I'm really grateful for the conversations I've had with you all and all that thing. So that's a long way of saying I find that having an attitude of starting from a place of gratefulness has been really, really helpful and beneficial to me. I know I'm not trying to be Pollyanna or woo-woo or warm fuzzy all the time, but if you start from there, my experience has been it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk or my podcast or whatever this has been. And here's an update on what's coming up next. First, I had scheduled a personal day at Highline College for the day after this video will air. So guess what I'm doing? I'm going to Bellevue, taking my camera gear, and I'm gonna go do some street photography like I did in the olden days 6 weeks ago. So I'm really, really looking forward to that, and you'll get to see the photos from that the week after this. So I'm grateful for that, and really looking forward to that experience. So today's video, before I let you go, today's video has been sponsored by me and my zine called Revision. Volume 1 is all about the past 2 years in downtown Bellevue. Lots of photos in here. I believe there's over 90 photos, over 52 pages, 8.5 by 11-inch book. If you buy the physical version, the print edition, as I'm calling it, that is shipped by Blurb, and it's a great quality. The folks who have said, who have gotten this so far have said it looks really, really good to them. There's also a non-dead tree version, a digital edition for your mobile devices or your computer screen, and I will leave a link to both of those down below. The print edition is $22 US, the digital edition is $11 US, and thank you for your support. Speaking of support, another couple ways you could support this work and maybe help me grow it a little bit more is a channel membership. There's various levels of that. There's the little button that says membership. Please click that to learn more. I'm going to be including some more member benefits. One of the current member benefits is access to some wallpapers I've made from photos at the Bellevue Botanical Garden. So that will be available to you if you decide to become a channel member. Also, a way you can support this channel that doesn't cost you any money is by doing the thumbs up thing. It's the law that I have to say like and subscribe, so thank you for that. And also another way that would be really, really helpful is if you have other folks in your life you think would enjoy videos like this, please share this channel with them, and then we get more people involved in this community. So thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. So that's the end for now. Next week, you're going to get to see some more street photography photos from me. And I'm, again, as I mentioned, really excited about that. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. And I look forward to seeing you in that next video. So until then, I hope you stay safe, stay well, and have fun creating photos. Bye for now.